This week, I want to share with you the best and maybe the only reason to become a private investigator. Hi, Larry Kaye here with ShadowAnyone.com and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. A lot of people want to be private investigators. It seems like a glamorous type of job or a fun job, and I have to admit that there are times when it is a lot of fun. There are certainly things that you'll encounter and do that other people don't even dream of, or at most kind of get a feel for on the movies or television. But I think the best reason to be a private investigator, and maybe the only reason to become a private investigator, is because it's just in your blood. It's what you just love to do. You feel like you're born to do it. That is the case for me. That is why I got into the business. I just couldn't not do it. I like the idea of catching bad guys at their own game. I like the idea of, the workers' compensation cheats and frauds and all that type of thing. It's just very much in my blood. But let me also share with you a little warning here, because this is the type of thing that over the years can get old. You will find at some point, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years into it, you're working essentially the same cases over and over and over again. It is hard to find a twist or a variation, something that you haven't seen before and probably seen a lot before. So, there's the nice thing about that is, I would say in a way that cases become easier. Certainly as you learn how to find people, you will have your half a dozen things that are really, you feel like, oh, those are my things. That's where I'm going to find this guy. But even with surveillance and other things, you just really, once you learn it and know it and do it, you get into the flow. That's a good thing. The bad thing is, especially if you own your own agency, if you haven't been building up a clientele list, if you haven't been building up, say, law firms that you work for regularly, or workers' compensation companies that you work for, you're constantly going to be trying to hustle for clients, and that can get old. So you definitely want to be working towards getting those steady repeat clients. And don't rely on just one. Don't get one nice big law firm and feel like you're set, because things can change in a moment's notice. In any industry, any business. Here in my local town, we had a sign company that, they had a third of their business from a large restaurant chain, and when that chain dropped them, they found themselves on the edge of disaster because they didn't have the business that they had been counting on over and over again. So here's the warning, and here's kind of the thing. When you get into this line of work, look ahead. Be planning 10 years or 20 years down the road. Now, if you're working maybe not for yourself, but for a detective agency, or you're an investigator with, say, a large company, maybe a large retailer or a bank, something like that. And don't forget, if you're looking to get into this line of work, you don't have to get your license. You don't have to open your own detective agency. You can go work for someone else in every big business you can think of. If you can think of their company name, they have a fraud or an investigative or a loss prevention division, and that's someplace you can go to work. But take for example loss prevention, a large retailer. When you get in there, maybe starting out as a loss prevention officer, asset protection officer, be looking down the road, because what's going to happen in 10 years, 15 years, you're going to be married, you're going to have a family, you're going to be needing to bring home that extra money, and you're not going to want to be working till 10 or 11 o'clock every night closing the store. You're not going to want to be working the weekends all the time. You're going to want, 10 years from now, you're going to want that nice steady 9-to-5 job Monday through Friday. So when you first get in there, immediately be looking to move from officer to supervisor, from supervisor to assistant district manager to district manager. You can make a lot of money as an investigator, but if you're going to work strictly as a private investigator running your own agency, you're going to find that to be an uphill battle and something that you can get tired of. I just want you to know that off the bat, and so you can make something, not to keep you out of this line of work, because if you're like me, there is no keeping you out of it. You've got to do it, at least for a while, to get it out of your system. But I do want you to be looking forward so that when you get in it 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years, you can be nice and comfortable. have that money that you need for your family, and be leading a decent lifestyle that's going to be satisfactory for you and the people you love. This is Larry Kaye, shadowanyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.